Hey, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about how to make money online with Creative Commons materials. And if you don't know, Creative Commons is basically a set of licenses. There are different levels, but they basically, as a creator, you can say, oh, I'm going to take a picture and, basically license this photo that I just took so that other people can use it without paying me a royalty. They can just use it. All they have to do is, attribute it back to my name so that I help, I gain some publicity from it and that kind of thing. And so Creative Commons is a set of licenses. You can basically just kind of look them up on the web, right? Right. Let's just delete that, Creative Commons. And you can read all about on creativecommons.org, like what the different licenses are, right? But basically, they come down to give everyone every right to this material that I've created, whether it's a song or a photo or a video or whatever, meaning they can use it commercially. They could turn around and add to it or modify it. They could sell it. They could call it their own, even. There's that kind of license all the way down to it can't be used for commercial uses, or, it can only be used if you attribute it back to my name. So there's kind of different levels that you want to familiarize yourself with, and you can do that on creativecommons.org. But what I wanted to talk about is ways to make money online with this information, because there's tons of it out there, right? So you can go to any kind of public domain type photo site. There's several of them out there. Pexels.com is one. Pixabay is another. But you could, so like, how do you make money with this stuff? Well, there's lots of ways that come to mind, right? So for one thing, you could take photos here, right? You can click on this photo, you could download it, and then just use a free program, or you can even do this on the web and just write some text on here that says, like basically make a meme to post on social media, right? And, this could be like a post, and then you link to a travel affiliate program, where you get paid if people book flights, just be like, on my way to, the islands, or, I'm not the most creative when it comes to memes. So people like me, if you're creative and you have funny stuff to say for those, then, people like me buy those memes pre-made so that I can post them on social media, and I don't have to sit here trying to figure out something cool to say, right? So if you're the kind of person who has cool stuff to say and you're used to sharing stuff on social media, why not take a bunch of photos from someplace that are public domain photos and create a bunch of memes and then turn around and sell them as a package of 25, or like make it, for businesses, and sell it to them. Hey, here's 6 weeks of curated, social media posts for your business that relate to the real estate industry. You can niche down and do it like that. So that's a couple of ideas, right? Super easy. Another thing you can do, which I've done in the past, is you can take all of these photos that are out here and basically put them together into groupings that make sense for certain niches, right? So, like I did, like business stock photos. And the reason I did that is because as a web developer and stuff, I was constantly looking for photos to use in people's and clients' websites. And, those tend to be in categories, like maybe they're financial industry, like advisors or that kind of thing. Or there's like the pet industry, or there's, carpet cleaning or construction, or, there's any number of these. On these photo sites, they're not organized that way. So if you could go and take tons of these photos and organize them into business categories that make sense, you can sell those to web developers like me, and it's like, boom. You can't sell it for $1 million, but you could sell the package, organized well, and I'd pay some money for that. So, that's another idea you can do. We don't have to just stick with photos though. There's also videos, as you can see right here. You can package videos the same way so that people have backgrounds for their squeeze pages and landing pages, or they can use them in creating their YouTube videos. Tons of options there as well. We're not just limited to photos and videos, we're also able to get Creative Commons like public domain books, right? So here's a book I published back in 2012 that has been selling, a couple of copies a month since then, right? It's not made me rich, but it's easy money. And I just republished this great book that, people who have an interest in the Model T Ford car, this thing basically shows you like every detail about it. And it's awesome. And I just basically took what was a digitized book and just turned it into a Kindle book and uploaded it into my Kindle KDP, and boom, there you go. You got a Kindle book out there. And there's gazillions of books that are in the public domain that you can do this with, right? I urge you to check out, what license they have and stuff like that. But and frankly, I'm actually going to tell you that there's a public domain course that's just come out from a lady called Amy, and she's done quite a bit with public domain stuff over the years. And it's a good course. She's got a nice dashboard where she basically talks you through, okay, here's where to go to look for public domain and Creative Commons stuff, like just links to the sites. Here's training on how to turn that into products you can sell for publishing books or, doing photos like I talked about. So I've done this stuff, I don't necessarily need the course, because I've already done it and still do it. I still use these all the time in paid advertising and stuff like that. I use music and photos. So I come to it all the time, right? It's just easy. And so, this was my other idea I wanted to show you is, you can just go do a quick Google search and find, different sites that collect Creative Commons licensable music, right? And people need this big time for their videos and stuff. So there's just a few ways you can make money online with Creative Commons stuff. Just understand that, sometimes with the license, you have to attribute the works back to the original creator. Sometimes you don't. And then the other piece to understand is that once you find stuff that's licensed in a way that you can use it and turn around and resell it and stuff like that, just remember that by adding value to, whatever it is you're doing, kind of like categorizing the pictures and photos like I talked about earlier, or maybe putting together a collection of good music that's great for videos, or that's all, over 10 minutes long, or, figure out like how you can add value, and then you can sell that stuff. So, I just urge you to pay attention to the different rights and stuff like that. Spend a day, on this Creative Commons site and just learn what they tell you, right? The different licenses. Because once you know that stuff, that knowledge is like, you can turn this stuff into money, right? So, there you go. Hope that helps you. Hey, that public domain goldmine course, I've got a link to my blog post about it down below this video. Check it out. It's worth it if you kind of want to get into this and just have a good resource, a good training material that takes you a little deeper than I've gone here for how to monetize this public domain and Creative Commons stuff. Check it out. And otherwise, we'll see you in my next video.